someone or something crawling around out here.
Did you see what it was? Was it a person or an animal or?
I can't tell. All I know is that my central light came on and I just happened to glimpse and see this thing running across the yard. A good-sized man or something looks like a man. I don't know what it was, just that it ran across the yard.
Okay. You've had problems in the neighborhood before?
Yeah, my dog was killed here just recently. I don't know what it was. Whatever it is, it's running. I couldn't catch it if I was going to chase it. So whatever it was standing up. I'm out here looking through the window now and I don't see anything. I don't want to go outside. Jesus Christ, you better...
Sure.
Dio!
Hello?
Get somebody out here.
What's going on now, sir?
That son of a bitch is about 6'9", I don't know.
Do you see him now, sir?
Yes.
You're listening to Paranormal 411. Coming to you live from an undisclosed location deep within the Appalachian Mountains. Bringing you the unknown with your hosts David Reagan and Jason Scott. Paranormal 411. Hello.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Poppy.
Hello, Governor.
How you doing?
Pretty good. Back for another show this week.
Woo!
Have a little show lined up for you. It's a few stories of the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh, yeah. Nice Bermuda Triangle song right there. You know, we actually have something to tell everybody, too.
Oh, yeah.
What do we have to tell them, Jason?
Go ahead, tell them.
I was going to let you do it.
Well, this past week, we've been busy.
Very busy. Like, busy.
You can go to Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
Search for David Reagan or Jason Scott.
Yep.
And you'll find a book.
Oh, man.
It's not a real big book. It's
it's a coffee table
table book.
Yeah. It's got a bunch of short stories in it, right?
Yes.
And some personal stories.
2 personals.
Yep. Actually, kind of 3, because you've got
3,
the one at
yeah.
the end of the book, right?
Oh, yeah.
So kind of 3 personal stories.
It's called East Tennessee Hauntings and Lore.
Ooh, that's such a catchy name. It's catchy.
And it has to do more with around our Loudoun, Monroe County area.
Yeah. And, you know, the people who have bought it so far have given us good reviews.
5-star.
What?
Yeah.
That's awesome. You know, I have to say that it was fun getting to be a part of the book. I had a good time. Jason put it all together, though, so you could thank Jason for how nice it looks, the cover and all that stuff. Jason spent time on all that.
I did.
You did. You really did. You have to get props for it, you know. Jason spent time on so when you get the book, because I know everybody that's listening to this is going to be excited and want to buy it.
It's on Kindle too. You can get the Kindle version or the paperback.
Yes.
And it's a really nice looking book.
Really is. I would suggest getting the paperback, but hey, you know, whichever. If you're more of a phone Kindle type reader, hey, get that one too. They're the same. Same pictures in them, same everything. But yeah, definitely do it, man, because it's awesome.
Yeah, and you can get that on Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a book. And, you know,
East Tennessee Hauntings and Lore.
Jason Scott and David Reagan.
Oh, yeah.
And go on Amazon, look that up. At some point, I will have that on our webpage too. So you'll be able to go there and find the link to the book. Or, you know, the book or the Kindle. They're both right there on the same page. So.
Oh, yeah. So now you're listening to David Reagan and Jason Scott, your host and published authors. Oh, yeah. It was fun. I like doing it.
Yes. We actually have.
It may not be perfect, but it's just something we wanted to put out.
Yeah. You know, it gives some of the listeners that may not be in our area the opportunity to know some of the folklore and stuff that's here in this area.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. I really believe that it's pretty cool. So definitely check it out. Check it out. And if you do buy one, please leave us a review.
Oh, yeah.
It helps. It helps us get out. So,
we're just talking to ourselves right now.
yeah, hey.
It'll go out on the podcast, though, but
Yeah, it's okay.
come on, people, get in here.
We've got, a shell in the...
Oh, we
In
got
the chat
Shell
room.
in the chat room. Go buy the book.
We need Shell to buy a book.
We do.
So, but we want to thank everybody that's already purchased it, because we do already have a bunch of purchases. And people who have already left reviews. We want to thank each and every one of you. Also want to thank some of the people who helped us and read the book before. Our wives are one. Made us do,
Couple of changes.
to the book that I think were good for the book.
Yeah.
Right? And Eddie from Legends and Lore Pizza. Awesome pizza. But thank you for also reading the book and telling it was great. So,
All right.
well, didn't mean to take that long on it, but man, I'm excited. It's a book. It's a book. So how you doing this week, Jason?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Yep.
Oh, no. Not too bad. I had a pretty good week.
Oh, did I ask you?
Yeah.
Did I?
Yep. I heard
Okay.
it. It was coming. It was there.
It was on my,
It
on
was,
my
it
tongue.
was right on the tip of your tongue. I just answered it before you did, before you said it. But I saw you start to say, hey, Dave,
Yeah.
how was your week?
We do. I do want to thank a couple of people
Yes.
too for the opportunity to get some good stories, which was Bo Carey at Bo Carey History Tours.
Yes.
He helped me out on the Carmichael Inn a little bit because he'd had some information that I didn't know,
Oh.
how it was moved and why it was moved and all that.
Oh, that's awesome. That's right. Yeah. And Bo Carey has a really good, thing that he does. If you're in the local area, he does a ghost tour and all kinds of stuff. So you definitely need to look him up.
Yeah, it's Bo Carey historytours.weebly.com. Oh, yeah.
Check it out.
Hey, but right now, unless you got anything else,
You said you had two. You only did one.
maybe it was just one.
Okay. You remember the other one later, right?
So we got Bo and we got Eddie. That's it.
Okay. Yay. We remembered.
You know what time it is, though, right?
What time is it?
It's time to get a little freaky with some This Day in History with David Reagan.
Ooh. Well, thank you, Jason. So today is June 10th, 2022. Did you know that, Jason? All day long, right?
All day.
All day long. So on this day in 1692, being found guilty of certain disdainable arts called witchcraft and sorceries, Bridget Bishop, on this day in 1692, became the first person to be hung during the Salem witch trials in the Massachusetts Bay Colony. Can you believe that? And wasn't this country founded on religious freedom? So anyway, and on this day also in 1772, Rhode Islanders in the American colonies boarded and sank the British revenue cutter Gaspee in Narragansett Bay. What do you think about that? Those are just a couple of things that happened.
Is that called
today.
the Great Gatsby?
Maybe. The Great Gatsby.
Oh, Gatsby.
Yeah.
Gatsby.
It's Gaspee. Gaspee. But those are just a couple of things that happened today in history.
June 10th,
June 10th.
2022.
That's right.
You heard it from David Reagan.
And it must be true.
What we have to do now is take a quick break to get a few
Cha-ching.
commercials in,
Like we always do, right?
like we always do.
I want to thank everybody that listens to our show weekly, every time we're live. And also, listens to our podcast because maybe they can't listen to us live. But we appreciate every single one of you. Remember, you are listening to Paranormal 411. Your hosts are Jason Scott and David Reagan. And we are live on Spreaker and on Podbean. You could also come to paranormal411.org. Sign up, become a member, because you're already there. So just sign up, become a member. It's free. It doesn't cost nothing, right, Jason?
Totally free.
Totally free. Come into our live show and chat room and chat with us there, because we're also live on our own website. So we will be back after these few messages. Thanks for listening to the show. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter at Paranormal411. Join us on the website at paranormal411.org. It's free to sign up and become a member. All of our upcoming shows are on the guest and events page. You can also listen to past shows on the website as well. And if you like the show and want to support us, you can do that by becoming a premium member for only $2 a month. Thanks for listening to Paranormal 411. Join us.
In a world on the edge of oblivion, go to paranormal411.org for all of your paranormal, extraterrestrial, and cryptid needs. This is Jeff Reagan of the band Catalyst. Visit Paranormal 411. Click on our link on the right-hand side to listen to or purchase any of our albums on BandLab.
All right, welcome back.
Ooh, welcome back. And that was Catalyst, East Tennessee. We want to thank them for allowing us to play their music. And that was a song called Stormy Weather, because if you don't know what we're talking about tonight, it's got something to do about some stormy weather. What do you think, Jason?
Yeah.
A little bit? Just a little bit about stormy weather, right?
How many cups of coffee you had?
32.
Okay.
Ooh, so what are you talking about? Just no, I'm just kidding.
Well, the Bermuda Triangle, of course.
The Bermuda Triangle. You know,
Also known as
the Devil's Triangle.
the devil.
There you go. Instead of me making a noise, hey, we got a whole
Yeah.
set of buttons here to make noises.
So, it happens to be one of the most mysterious places on this planet. Yeah. Located just off the southern or southeastern coast of the United States in the Atlantic Ocean between Bermuda and Florida and Puerto Rico, the region has become the center for unresolved mystery. What do you think about that?
I think it's right.
I mean, this is vast, 440,000 miles of sea.
That's a lot. That's huge. But then that also explains why when things happen, they can never find
Yeah.
the people that go missing, the ships,
But
planes.
It's also the busiest shipping route.
Yeah. Yeah.
On that side, I guess.
So, you know, when you think about it that way, doesn't the fact that it is the big, really busy shipping route, probably planes and everything travel that all the time too. So would that not say that because it is so busy that the chances of things that would happen in those areas would also be greater because of how busy it is?
Yeah, but it seems like when these things happen, nobody is around.
Yeah, and it seems to go out of the blue, and then they can never, I won't say ever, but most of the time they don't find wreckage, they don't find anything. Like we'll talk about later, you know, like Flight 19 and some other things.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know. Have they even found any of those planes?
none. Not even the spotter plane that got sent up after Flight 19. It went completely missing, and they didn't even find it. Still to this day, haven't found one of those planes yet.
Yeah.
But that
Crazy.
leads back to a book we're writing.
Oh, yeah. We're authors now.
That's right. The name of that book, so far, the working title, right, is The Present Seeding the Past. Yeah, that's a good title. Oh, yeah. But we'll talk a little bit about that later. Right now, we're talking about the Bermuda Triangle.
So this Bermuda Triangle, not only just the vessels, but people, thousands of disappearances.
Because they've actually had ghost ships that have come out of there that didn't have a soul on them, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. That's crazy.
So the term Bermuda Triangle was first used by Vincent Gaddis in 1964 in an article that he published in a magazine.
That's crazy. So
It is.
64 is when they coined the term
Bermuda.
the Bermuda Triangle.
But most of the stories, or the story started, they began when Christopher Columbus's time, when he reportedly saw a flame of fire crashing into the sea in the triangle during his first voyage over here.
It's funny because, he also talked about a light that came from underneath the ship, came out of the water, came above them, and then flew away. You think that's
What does that sound like?
a USO?
A USO. Yeah.
It's funny when they actually find stuff like that
Well,
in ship's logs and things.
the role of paranormal activity in the presence of aliens have been strongly suggested by those who believe something odd's happening. Many with scientific views dispute the argument, and they say it's rogue wave, methane bubbles.
I could see. No.
Yeah.
Look, we have so many detection devices out throughout the ocean. They can detect most rogue waves that has happened. I won't say all, because I'm sure way out in the middle of the oceans and stuff, but I would think that something like that wouldn't go completely unnoticed in that area, because it's right in between lands,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'll tell you one thing. I don't know.
It's just awful odd that communications cease to exist, especially the newest missing planes and people.
Right.
They can't communicate with anybody. They can't read their compass.
Right.
I mean, it's weird. You okay?
No. I'm being weird.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Well, possibly, I'll go ahead and start it off with a story.
Let's do it.
The Mary Celeste. Possibly one of the most mysterious stories of the shipwrecks. This ship is a tale of its own, despite being found adrift in some other location in the Atlantic Ocean. There's your portal.
Mm-hmm. It exists.
The connection to the Bermuda Triangle had been somehow invoked to find an answer to the mystery of its fate. Discovered on the 4th of December, 1872, with everything right in place except for the crew. This is one of the ships you was talking about.
Yep.
The ship was found stranded on the sea days after starting its journey from New York to Italy.
Wow.
There were 7 crew members and Captain Benjamin Briggs, his wife, and their 2-year-old daughter aboard the vessel. And it was loaded with alcohol. But a few days after, when a passing British ship called the Del Grata found the Mary Celeste under partial sail in the Atlantic off the Azore Islands, the ship was unmanned with no crew, and the lifeboat was also missing.
Now, this is one of the ones I was referring to, because so why would a ship that's in perfect good intact, nothing wrong with it, it's not taking on leaks, it's not got water, there's nothing wrong with this ship, why would it be missing its lifeboat, and then all the people be off of a perfectly good floating vessel?
Arr. Harriet, I tell you.
All they wanted was the people there.
Well,
We
there was
didn't
5
want
barrels of alcohol missing too, and a sword on the deck. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I know what happened. Captain Kidd, they went back in time and got stranded.
Yo, Blackbeard.
That's it. But it is funny.
Studies of the ship, though, ruled out the possibility of a pirate attack. Since everything on this ship, including the barrels of alcohol it was transporting and the crew's valuable belongings, were intact. I thought I just said 5 barrels of alcohol was missing.
Right.
5 barrels of something was gone. Maybe the fuel, maybe they didn't have motors then, did they?
No, that's why I said it was under partial sale.
Maybe it was drinking water. I don't know. Anyway.
But that's, see, I mean, it's a perfectly good vessel. So why would you abandon a perfectly good vessel?
Well, here's some theories.
I like theories.
Alien abduction.
I can understand that. Yeah.
Giant squid attack.
That would be weird.
Natural disaster.
So what would be the natural disaster? Do you know? That's weird, right?
It is weird.
Undersea earthquake.
It don't fit.
No. None of that makes sense, does it?
Yeah.
There's only one of those that makes sense to me. Beam me up, Scotty. I mean, I don't know why they would take a lifeboat with them.
No.
Maybe they was planning on bringing them back. They just decided not to.
I don't know. Something happened. We don't know what.
I don't know. To me, that's one of the ones that is, like it says, it is very intriguing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because everything's intact. It's a perfectly working vessel.
Mm-hmm.
No holes. Everything's there. Even all the belongings were there. But the people were missing.
Yep.
That's crazy. I've got one for you.
Tell us.
So this one is called The Spray. And this is, hold on one second. I've got, let's see. So this one is called The Spray. So Joshua Slocum, the first man to sail solo around the world in 1895, was considered one of the best sailors of his time. His boat, the Spray, was an old fishing boat that he had rebuilt. And the story of his circumnavigation, sailing alone around the world, remains a classic in sea literature. Now, he never should have been lost at sea, but it appears that is exactly what happened. In 1909, Slocum left the east coast of the United States, headed to the Grand Caymans for the winter. Slocum was never heard from or seen again. He was never declared legally dead until 1924, and no one knows for sure that's where Slocum disappeared within the Triangle waters, but Bermuda buffs claim that Slocum's story is part of the legacy of the Devil's Triangle. Touted as one of the best sailors of his time, went missing, boat and all, gone. This man circumnavigated the globe by himself.
He went the wrong way. Took a wrong turn at Albuquerque that
That's
day.
it. That's it. He should have never left the east coast of America. That's where he screwed up.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think?
I think something's going on down there.
I think there is. Yeah, I honestly think that, as we get into more of these stories, you'll see, some of the stuff that's going on. And then we might give you a little glimpse about a book we're writing.
Really?
That I think ties in with this. Right, Jason?
Yeah.
And this one's going to be more than just a coffee table book. This one will probably be a few hundred pages. But it's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to be filled with facts. Right? That's what we like, facts.
Yeah.
So, you have the next story, Jason?
Yes, I do.
Ooh, hello.
The disappearance of the USS Cyclops.
That's awesome. Because, that's a U.S. Navy ship. So,
Yeah.
I mean, when one of those just go missing.
It's the largest loss of life in the history of the U.S. Navy in a single incident.
Wow.
309 sailors.
Holy smokes.
So, in March 1918, this massive ship set out to sail from Brazil to Baltimore through, guess what?
The Bermuda Triangle.
The Bermuda region. Yes. It was carrying 10,800 tons of manganese ore. Manganese ore. With about 309 crew members on board. It set off on a fairly good day. The ship's first and only message indicated no sort of trouble. The first and only message. But the ship was never heard from again. An entire search of the area was put into action, but nothing was ever found. No remains of the ship, any crew members aboard. The captain of the Cyclops never sent a distress signal, and no one aboard responded to radio calls from other vessels in the vicinity.
That's crazy. So I just had to look it up because I wanted to know what manganese is.
What is it?
So it is a chemical element of the atomic number 25.
Element 115.
It is a hard gray metal of the transition series manganese. It is an important component of special steels and magnetic alloys. So the black dioxide of manganese as an industrial raw material or additive, so especially in glass making. What do you think about that?
It's crazy.
That's pretty cool, right? I'm going to throw this picture in our website because we could do that.
So the naval investigators also failed to find a definite cause for its disappearance. There was a number of theories, but due to its mysterious disappearance, the Cyclops has become part of a list of more than 100 ships and planes that have vanished under strange circumstances in the Bermuda Triangle. So they never found out anything about it. It's just gone.
So that's what's crazy, right? Things like that where no distress signals. And it's a Navy ship. So if something happened, they would have started sending distress signals, all kinds of stuff. For them just to go, gone.
Yeah, it's weird.
That is weird. Wow. Want to do another one? Or do you want me to do one?
You go ahead.
I've got one. I don't know if I'm going to say this right. So please forgive my ignorance. Tigmouth Electron.
Tigmouth Electron.
Yeah, that's.
Is that the name of the ship?
I think so. So if Bermuda Triangle swallows up ships and planes, it could also make people go crazy.
Yeah.
Perhaps that's what happened on the Tigmouth Electron in 1969. So businessman Donald Crowhurst set sail from London on October 31st, 1968 in a triple-hulled boat designed featuring his own safety innovations and grand intentions to win the Sunday Times Golden Globe race, an event that requires each contestant to sail solo around the world. A relatively inexperienced sailor, Crowhurst obtained the backing of a demanding investor and hired an aggressive publicist. So with his fortune and pride riding on a successful voyage, Crowhurst got off to a slow start, and his boat was plagued with problems. He considered turning back. Instead, he reported incredible times and progress to his publicist while floating around in the Atlantic. When Crowhurst began his journey home, he found out that his closest competitor had sunk. Fearing that the truth about his deceptions would be discovered, Crowhurst apparently jumped overboard with his fraudulent logbook, drowned himself. So the Electron was found abandoned in the middle of the Bermuda Triangle in July 1969, with the last entry of his accurate logbook dated June 29th. So that's a whole month, almost.
Almost.
What do you think?
That's pretty crazy.
Do you think it's feasible, or do you think it just kind of, that's kind of on the fringes of maybe?
Maybe.
I think it's a maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. I don't think it's as solid as some of these other ones.
Right.
Because there is a possibility he did say, hey, I'm going to jump overboard because some people are going to kill me when I get back.
Somebody owe me. I owe somebody money.
Money. I don't know. I wouldn't kill myself over that, though, would you? I mean, but I still say
maybe he did go crazy.
I'll still say it's a 50-50 on that one, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So, have you ever heard of Carol A. Deering?
I don't think so.
Well, she's a 5-masted commercial schooner.
Well, hell yeah.
That's one of the most written about maritime mysteries in the 20th century.
So, I may have heard about it.
Probably have. I mean, due to the complete mystery around its abandonment. So in January 1921, Carol A. Deering was found hard aground on the treacherous rocks of Hatteras Diamond Shoals, North Carolina.
Wow.
There were speculations that the vessel was involved in rum running.
In 21?
1921?
Was that about the time that they had the
Prohibition?
That sounds about right.
Yeah, maybe. But when the investigation team from Barbados reached the vessel days after, what they found was a deserted ship with all crew members missing, along with the crew's personal belongings, ship's navigational equipment, logbooks, and life rafts, among other things. Sounds like they just abandoned ship.
That's what it sounds like. But again, here's a perfectly good floating vessel. That makes no sense, does it? That's twice. That's 2 stories you've told now. Perfectly good floating vessels. Why would you abandon a perfectly good floating vessel? Mm-hmm. I'd rather be in a big ship as a lifeboat.
Well, it's known as the ghost ship of the Outer Banks. The disappearance, along with a few other vessels during the same time period in the triangle, has been valuable information on the mysterious waters. Reports suggested that as many as 9 vessels disappeared during this period from the same region, none of which was ever heard from again. So, Cape Hatteras, North Carolina?
That's not really that far from here.
No. Or Hatteras Diamond Shoals, North Carolina.
That is a pretty treacherous side right through there, though.
Maybe they didn't want to go in the rocks and they jumped out on their lifeboat.
They found out they was going to run aground, but then where'd they go? Beam me up, Scotty.
That's why it's a mystery.
We need a is what we need for Beam Me Up, Scotty. I don't know. I think, see, that's another one, though. I think that's got a strong possibility for something weird happen because a perfectly good vessel, but everything is missing as far as the people, their belongings, ship's logs, equipment.
It's pirates, I tell you.
Why would, but most pirates would take a perfectly good vessel because they would put it in with the rest of their vessels. That's one of the things they pirated was also vessels. Because if it didn't sink, they would keep it in their fleet.
Maybe it was the Black Pearl.
They all went to Davy Jones' locker.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really think that's one that I could honestly say I would believe that was something weird.
Yeah.
Weird and strange. Weird and strange.
You want to take a quick break?
I've got a set up for one.
Good.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that right there. So, I want to thank everybody that's listening, the podcast and everything. Come visit us at paranormal411.org. Sign up, become a member. It's free. You are listening to Jason and David. We're your hosts tonight. We're talking about the Bermuda Triangle. It's pretty cool. Pretty fascinating subject anyway. And you know what? We'll be back right after this quick break.
In a world on the edge of oblivion, go to paranormal411.org for all of your paranormal, extraterrestrial, and cryptid needs.
Thanks for listening to the show. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter at Paranormal411. Join us on the website at paranormal411.org. It's free to sign up and become a member. All of our upcoming shows are on the guest and events page. You can also listen to past shows on the website as well. And if you like the show and want to support us, you can do that by becoming a premium member for only $2 a month. Thanks for listening to Paranormal 411. Join us.
This is Jeff Reagan of the band Catalyst. Visit Paranormal 411. Click on our link on the right-hand side to listen to or purchase any of our albums on BandLab.
All right.
All right.
Welcome.
Welcome back, everybody. So, I want to again thank Catalyst East Tennessee for allowing us to use their music. You could always come to paranormal411.org. While you're there, go ahead and sign up, become a member. Right, Jason? It's free.
Free.
But we have a link to their albums and everything on our front page. Go ahead and click on that, everybody, and give them a visit. You can listen to all their music from their 2 albums, and they definitely won't disappoint.
No.
Not at all. We love them. So, you want to hear my next one?
Yeah, let's hear it.
My next one. So, this one?
Wait, let's talk about this book. Let's advertise a little about the book first.
Let's do that. So,
No, the one that's on Amazon right now.
oh, okay, go for it. Go for it.
You can go to Amazon and get our book.
Yes.
It's called East Tennessee Hauntings and Lore. You got it in Kindle and paperback. It's a little coffee table book.
Yes.
Take it to the bathroom every time you need to go to the bathroom. You know.
Right. Read your favorite story.
Oh, yeah.
Or 2. Maybe even 3, depending on how long you were in there.
Check it out. It's on Amazon.
Yes, check it out. I mean, I think you could even click on it and read just a little bit of one of the stories, right?
Yes, if it's the Kindle, yeah.
Yeah, so you just kind of click on it and do a little review, a little look-see-see. And I guarantee you won't be disappointed. Everybody that's got it so far has given us a good review, and we've got quite a few people who's purchased the book. Hey, just go look at it.
Yeah.
Join us. Join us.
Okay, you can go ahead.
Oh, and we will be putting that link on our website sometime soon too. So you'll be able to go there. But when you go to Amazon, you could either look it up Jason Scott or David Reagan, or the title of the book, East Tennessee Hauntings and Lore. Either way, you could find the book. So definitely check it out. We think it's pretty cool. You know, we're not biased in any way, shape, or form at all.
No.
Join us. So I have one called Star Tiger. This is not a 1980s cartoon. So on January 30th, 1948, a British South American Airways Tudor 4 plane flying from England to Bermuda disappeared without a trace. So the Star Tiger, commanded by Captain B.W. McMillan, was flying from England to Bermuda. McMillan reported he expected to arrive in Bermuda at 5 a.m., but neither he nor any of the 31 people aboard the Star Tiger were ever heard from again. So the official report suggests that the aircraft's heater was unreliable and may have failed en route, and a compass was at fault. To keep the temperatures warmer, the pilot may have chosen to fly the route at a lower altitude, burning fuel faster. Flying so low would have left the pilot little time to maneuver or signal for help in the case of a catastrophic event. So the flight would have lost its height quickly and fallen into the sea. What do you think? If they never found debris, debris ends up, there's some things that just float.
Yeah, it moves around with the current.
You have 31 people on board. They've got to have some kind of suitcases and all kinds of other crap. There would have been something floating. I'm sure they had flotation devices. And maybe that would have been before flotation devices. I don't know. It's 1948. Either way it goes, something would have been floating. Mm-hmm. Something would have been found. I don't know. I just think that it is pretty crazy. What do you think?
Yeah,
Maybe?
it's crazy.
It's crazy. I will say, 60, 70%.
Mm-hmm.
As far as, otherworldly. Or something like it.
Something paranormal.
It may have been they hit a vortex, went into an alternate dimension. Never came back.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Anything's possible.
Yeah.
So I got one.
Okay.
Witchcraft.
Oh, I like that name.
You know what? This was a cabin cruiser named Witchcraft. On December 22nd, 1967, she left Miami with her captain, Dan Burrick, and his friend, Father Patrick Horgan.
Father Patrick Horgan.
Now, what is the odds of a father being on a boat named Witchcraft?
Right?
You know it's bound for disaster.
I'm going to exercise this plane.
God took him out.
He says, no more.
The two gentlemen's journey on the 23-foot luxury yacht was to enjoy the wonderful view of Miami's Christmas lights. So, I mean, they wouldn't have to go too far out, right?
No.
However, after reaching just 1 mile offshore, the Coast Guard received a call from the captain stating that his ship had hit something, but there was no substantial damage. Indicating help to be towed to the shore, the Coast Guard set off immediately, reaching Witchcraft in as many as 19 minutes alone, but to nothing. The area indicating the ship's location was completely deserted, no signs of any ship ever being stranded or even present there previously. And what's most intriguing, you like that word?
I do. It's intriguing.
About this story is that this particular cruiser was virtually unsinkable. Not to mention numerous life-saving devices were present on board, including life jackets, lifeboats, flares, distress signals. You name it, this boat had it.
Wow.
None of them was used, and the ship was gone. The Coast Guard officials searched hundreds of square miles of the ocean over the next few days, but were unsuccessful. Nothing of this ship has been found until this day. The ship was gone, and what remains is only the speculation that can be done now.
Wow.
You know, I have an idea. Somebody was trying to get away from something. They called it in, then they poof. They're gone. Now, what are they considered? Missing.
Missing. Yeah. You think they had a warrant or something against them? Like they're about to be indicted?
I don't know.
Witness protection was about to happen?
Maybe.
Oh. Or do you think that the Greys did it?
Could be the Greys.
I mean, they like to abduct people. But whoever abducted this, it took ship and all. Right? I mean, they took everything. There was nothing left. And then to this day, they've never found nothing. So that also tells you they didn't... No one stole the ship. Because obviously it had the ability to be tracked.
Yeah.
Because they said when they arrived, there was nothing there.
Nothing.
Nothing. That's crazy. Wow. Hello. So here's another airplane one. It's called the Star Aerial. So this is a Tudor 4 aircraft, like the Star Tiger. This one left Bermuda on January 17th, 1949, with 7 crew members and 13 passengers. Well, that's a lot of crew members for 13 passengers, isn't it? En route to Jamaica Mine. That morning, Captain J.C. McPhee. Isn't that funny how all these captains have 2 initials and then their last name?
Mm-hmm.
It's weird, isn't it? Reported that the flight was going smoothly. Shortly afterward, one more cryptic message came from the captain when he reported that he was changing his frequency, and then nothing more was heard. So our search party was deployed to look for the Star Ariel, but not even a hint of debris or wreckage was ever found. So after it disappeared, British South American Airways stopped production of the Tudor 4 airplane.
Mm.
That's 2 stories in a row of this airplane going missing. But it's still, all he said is he was switching frequencies.
Yeah.
He didn't say, hey, I'm going down, SOS, emergency, or nothing else.
Mm.
Pretty weird, right? I don't know. I think that one, again, is pretty good indication that things happen in the air and on the ships, you know.
Yeah.
We also have Flight 201. So this Cessna left Fort Lauderdale, Florida on the 31st of March, 1984, en route for Bimini Island in the Bahamas. It never arrived. The passengers were all Cessna employees, including the pilot and co-pilots. Despite the experience of all the crew, something went wrong. Not quite midway to its destination, the plane slowed its airspeed significantly, but there were no radio signals that were made from the plane to indicate any distress. And then suddenly, the plane dropped from the air into the water, completely vanishing from radar. A woman on the Bimini Islands reported seeing a plane plunge into the sea about a mile offshore. But there was never any wreckage found of that plane.
Mm. It's crazy.
That's what I'm talking about. Right there. That's what I'm talking about. Just no wreckage, no nothing. You know there's going to be wreckage. Shit's going to float. Something's going to float. Bodies, after a while, float. I mean, life jackets, you know, they've got them on there. It's 80s.
Yeah.
You know they had to have life jackets and things like that on board that plane. Those things had to have floated if they actually went down. I think they hit a portal.
A portal.
To where, Jason?
I don't know.
To the past. I think they went in time. Could have been the future, but I'm saying the past. That brings us to our book that we're writing. We'll talk about that at the end of the show. There's another one called the Piper Navajo.
The Piper Navajo.
Yes. So on November 3rd, 1978, Irving Rivers left St. Croix, so it's part of the U.S. Virgin Islands, in a Piper Navajo. He was piloting from Eastern Caribbean Airways. So he was a very experienced pilot that he was making a solo flight to... Whoa, hello. So the control tower operator radioed a flight suggestion to avoid a small shower, and Rivers radioed his acknowledgement and made the adjustment. As he neared the airport in St. Thomas, the plane was cleared for landing, and the controller saw the plane's red and green lights blinking as it made the approach. Soon after another plane made a planned departure, the controller found he could no longer see the plane's lights. It had completely disappeared from the radar. They did an emergency search that was launched immediately, but nothing was ever found, even though the flight was only 1 mile from the landing site.
Crazy.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
Yeah.
Energy grid. Yeah, I think so. What do you say? What do you think so-called paranormal spaces are? Man, that's cryptic. What do you mean paranormal spaces? So are you talking about the Earth's energy grid? We could definitely talk about it. Right?
Yeah.
Definitely talk about it because, we're in the process of writing a book kind of along these lines right now. And I think that a lot of stuff could go in with it as far as Earth's energy grids. I think that a lot. Oh, he just wrote to us, he or she. I'm sorry. Don't want to say what you are, but they like the show. Thank you for liking the show. I do think that it could be energy grids. What do you think, Jason? I think it could be. I think, as far as what we know now, right? The U.S. military and everything that's come out, all these UFOs, USOs, and everything that are seen with our U.S. military more than almost anybody.
Yeah.
And it seems like there's a lot of action that goes on in these waters. So, I think that it could possibly be that too. I think to tie it down to one thing would be wrong. Mm-hmm. What do you think? I mean, to say that, hey, I think definitely it's this or it's that would be a wrong thing to do because we definitely don't know. But we do know that there's a lot of the missing planes, missing ships. Not only missing ships, but then people, like Jason was talking about it on a couple of those, missing people off ships. Perfectly good vessels, but all the people in lifeboats and everything missing off of it and never found.
Oh, yeah. We've watched Skinwalker Ranch.
Oh, yeah. Love Skinwalker. Believe in portals? Yes. 100%. Jason is very, very much through the portals.
I tend to think anything paranormal is dimensional to me.
Well, I think we've had this conversation. I think you're right.
And there could be a portal, in the Bermuda Triangle that opens up. I mean, unsuspecting to travelers. It said some of them witness like a bright flash.
Yeah.
Well, that's energy.
Compasses stop working.
It takes a lot of energy to open up a portal.
Right. More than we can.
Yeah. And you have the Philadelphia experiment for one that went down.
Yep.
They opened up something. I don't know what it was. If it was a portal or if it was just flat out a rip in the space-time thing. But
you think that maybe, you just said that, but I had a thought that came to mind. Do you think maybe that did cause a rip in space and time, and that's why we have the Mandela effects and things that we have? Because
maybe it was about the right time.
Right. Maybe some of the information from other timelines of ours intersected with us, and that's where these Mandela effects come from. That would be something cool. We have to actually look into that sometime because that would be kind of neat. Huh.
I know there's a lot of information about the Philadelphia experiment. Even when the men, the sailors' body parts was fused into the metal.
Yes. Well, and
And
then
it drove them crazy.
yeah.
So, you know,
And we have the tale. We've done a show. What's his name? That was part of all that.
what was his name? If you hadn't asked me, I could have told you.
That's sad because it's escaped me right now too. We've done the show about him several times. And he supposedly went to, what was that, like 2060 something or something like that, or 22 something. He went
23.
He went way forward in time.
He went forward in time.
And his tales were crazy.
But the man.
Because it's like an AI took over.
Yeah, the man knew what he was talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he done a lot of studying or something. Yeah, it may be a portal.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think it's a very possibility it's a portal.
And you know, there could be an alien under the sea base down there somewhere that's opening these things up to
well, I mean, you have
travel.
Yeah. Well, you've got the government now that's even looking into all that stuff, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Where they're talking about seeing these things drop, what is it, 70,000 feet to right above ocean level, and then diving into the ocean and going at speeds that are unfathomable to us today as our science is anyway, under the water. So these things can go from air, ocean, or into the, space. And it doesn't seem to matter to them where they are as far as their ship capabilities and stuff.
Yeah. I was watching something today or yesterday. They was showing an anomaly over the water that was recorded. It was a recording, and it was like a ball, and they estimated it to be at least 9 feet in diameter. Mm-hmm. And when it came down, it hit the water, it split into two. And it was up and out of the water the whole time. But it split into two pieces.
That's crazy.
When it hit the water.
Yeah, you're talking about a technology, I mean, we don't have. I'm sorry, but we don't have it. The Chinese definitely don't have it, and no one else does either.
I've heard that there are pyramids under there.
Yeah, I've heard that
I heard
pyramids.
It was glass.
That's what I heard. I heard that. That's what I was just about to say. Is that I heard that there was a glass pyramid under there that it was just completely see through,
transparent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That'd be something.
I mean, how can we definitely say there is? I can't, because
It's like saying I can't prove there's an inner earth, but boy, there's been a lot of people throughout time that says there is.
Yeah.
Even the Hopi Indians say that there was. So I don't know. Yep. Hey, you want to take a quick break?
Yeah, let's take a quick break.
All right. We're going to take a quick break. Hey, stay with us. Don't go anywhere. This will be a quick break. You are listening to Paranormal 411. You can listen to us live on Spreaker and on Podbean, but you could also come to paranormal411.org. Sign up, become a member while you're there because, hey, it's free. It doesn't cost nothing, right, Jason?
Free.
And you could also come to our live show and chat room where we're also, guess what, live. Therefore the name, right? Live show and chat room on Paranormal 411. And what's cool is that you can actually listen to us live, but we could post up pictures and stuff like that pretty easy on our own chat room. So we also wrote a book. You can check us out. Right, Jason?
Yep.
On Amazon. And the name of the book is what, Jason?
East Tennessee Hauntings and Lore.
That's right. You can look it up by the name or by Jason's name or my name. And definitely check it out. And we will be back right after this quick break. Thanks for listening to the show. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter at Paranormal 411. Join us on the website at paranormal411.org. It's free to sign up and become a member. All of our upcoming shows are on the guest and events page. You can also listen to past shows on the website as well. And if you like the show and want to support us, you can do that by becoming a premium member for only $2 a month. Thanks for listening to Paranormal 411. Join us.
In a world on the edge of oblivion, go to paranormal411.org for all of your paranormal, extraterrestrial, and cryptid needs. This is Jeff Reagan of the band Catalyst. Visit Paranormal 411. Click on our link on the right-hand side to listen to or purchase any of our albums on BandLab.
For better days, but everyone's got their own way. Frustrated every day. Never learn to hear me say I'm facing the tidal wave. Flood of emotion washed away. We tasted that we crave. Then it all faded away. Won't you come outside today? There's so much we yet to say. Yeah. Don't throw it all away. I won't turn and walk away. It's to the better days. Got yours, I've got mine. Well, we've all got our own issues. Why give up? Why not try it? When we've all got so much to lose, don't run from the dark skies. When we're gonna make it through, we're back down the sunshine. Yeah, the same as we always do. Won't you come outside today? There's so much we get to say. Yeah. Don't you throw it all away. I won't turn and walk away. It's to the better days.
All right, welcome back to the show.
Welcome back. Want to thank, maybe I'll hit the button right, huh? I want to thank Catalyst East Tennessee for allowing us to use their music, and they're great friends of the show. The guys are awesome. Definitely come to paranormal411.org. On the front page, you could see a little banner for them. Click on that on the right-hand side there, and it goes and you could actually listen to all their music. You could purchase their songs and everything there. I'd definitely say check them out because you won't be disappointed at all, right?
Nope.
Not at all. I'm never disappointed. Remember, you are listening to Paranormal 411 tonight. Jason and I, your hosts, are talking about the Bermuda Triangle. And we've got a bunch of little, little things that we're talking about, little short stories about missing planes and missing ships and even some just with missing people and the ships found, right, Jason?
Oh, yeah.
Pretty fascinating stuff. What are they saying? Someone in the Podbean talking with us.
We're based in the East.
Oh, awesome. Based in the East. Where at in the East?
We are.
Oh, yes, we are. Yes, we are.
They're asking, where are you based?
We are in East Tennessee. Yes.
East Tennessee.
Yeah.
Appalachian country.
That's right. Beautiful country up here. Or over here, around here, depending on where you're coming from, right? Below us, above us, beside of us, wherever. But this is definitely beautiful country. If you've never been here, I would highly suggest, you come and visit us because it's beautiful. Matter of fact, next month, right, Jason?
Oh, yeah.
We've got a awesome Bigfoot conference that we attend every year. We have a booth and everything set up. I would say come and visit us. I think it might be already sold out, but hey, fear not. Because here sometime soon on this here very show, during one of our live shows,
yes,
we will be giving out 2 tickets.
2 tickets.
We have 2 guest tickets to give out. So I would suggest you listen live. Because you could win those tickets. And then we would be very happy if you came by and said hi to us. Right, Jason?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, outside Pittsburgh. Okay. Well, I'm up in that area pretty often. So I am a truck driver by trade, so I'm a little bit of everywhere. Right, Jason?
Mm-hmm.
So let's see here. We left off with another one. The USS Sulphur Queen.
Sulphur Queen. That sounds like a very nice name.
It does, doesn't it? What does that smell like? That's sulfur.
Smells like hell.
Yes. So this is a tanker carrying a load of molten sulfur.
Ugh.
You know how stinky that would be? That'd be terrible. I would jump off that ship. Sorry,
So-
but I'm gone.
The sailors on that ship probably said, it's time to go to hell.
Time to go. Might as well jump off. That's it. Holy smokes, man. So it disappeared off the southern coast of Florida in February 1963. So as a result, the wreckage and 39 crew members were lost without a trace. Molten sulfur, ship and crew gone without a trace. What the heck, right? So, according to the U.S. Coast Guard's investigation,
Pirates.
it's pirates. They needed some sulfur for their cannons are. So the U.S. Coast Guard's investigation, the ship was in questionable condition and probably wasn't seaworthy. So fires were commonplace and the ship was known to have a weak back, meaning that the keel was likely to split when weakened by corrosion. When the ship was converted from its original purpose as an oil tanker to carry the molten sulfur, a high center of gravity resulted that may have caused the vessel to capsize, but no one knows for certain what happened. But its demise was probably as a result of its poor condition rather than mysterious forces. But then why did they never find the wreckage or the people or anything?
What?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know.
Well,
I mean, if you can't find the missing people, the ship, or molten sulfur,
it was methane bubbles.
that's it. That's what did it. I say it was aliens.
You know,
You like my sound effects?
yeah. Aliens, you know, they could use the triangle as a portal to our planet.
So, yeah, what would happen if you was in when that portal opened for them to come through? Would you go through the other side?
I don't know, but maybe they're gathering people through the Bermuda Triangle instead of just, I don't know.
Hey, you know, I watched a movie. No, I think it was a movie. Yes. It was 13 Monkeys. Do you remember that movie?
I've seen it, but I can't remember it. I have
So-
a long-term
Yes.
memory loss.
So this just came to me just now. So this is definitely not part or planned part of the show, but part of the movie was that they was taking airliners, things like that went down and everybody died or no one was ever found, quote unquote, because people in the future had whatever disease was released on people. That's why he was coming back, was to try to find that.
Yeah, now I remember it.
And they were taking everybody off the planes and ships and everything and transporting them to the future for their genetic materials, blah, 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 actually to be used, not to be dissected or nothing, but because they were supposedly dead, they wouldn't be missed from the past, so they were taken to the future. Could that be? Because people in the future, if they could time travel backwards, would know the instances and the times that these things would occur, so they would know when to come back and grab these people and disappear them.
Disappear them?
They would be disappeared. They would never be heard of again.
Actually, I have a story about some time travel through the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh, let's hear it.
So a pilot, this guy's wrote a book about it too.
Oh, I bet you this is that guy that we're going to ask to come on the show.
He's a pilot by the name of Bruce Gernon.
I think this is the guy. This is the guy that has the book and it talks about the electronic fog, isn't it?
Yes, he didn't believe in time travel or teleportation until it happened to him. He said that that there's a fog that surrounded his craft, and he leaped ahead 100 miles.
Yeah, he got to his destination way before he should have.
Yeah.
Because he was flying like a Cessna or something.
100 miles ahead. Wow.
Yeah. He's been on the History Channel or something on one of these shows. He has a book out, and this actual guy, we're actually going to, Jason, are going to be asking this guy to come on our show sometime soon to tell his story and everything. Because I think it would be pretty fascinating. I believe you. Podbean, they was saying that he believes that it's UFOs or portals, and that's pretty much all they could think of, right? I'm the same.
Yep.
I don't know. I believe it. We have another one. It was a DC-3 airliner, NC-16002. So, an airborne transport, a DC-3 airliner carrying 29 passengers and 3 crew members, disappeared near the end of a scheduled flight from San Juan, Puerto Rico to Miami, Florida on December 28th, 1948. Now, isn't this funny that the majority of all of these are from the 80s and back?
Mm-hmm.
It's really weird, isn't it? So the pilot, Robert Lindquist, had told a local repair crew that a landing gear warning light was not functioning and the aircraft batteries were discharged. But he was unwilling to delay the scheduled takeoff for repairs. So the air traffic controllers at Miami heard transmissions from the flight during the night. So this also included a report that the flight was 50 miles south of Miami. So since the transmission was reported from New Orleans, it is possible that the aircraft may have drifted off course. But nothing else was ever heard of the flight, and the aircraft has never been found. Well, hello.
Well, hello. Sorry about that.
Well. Jason's just playing music in the background. But nothing was ever found.
It's crazy.
Gone.
Poof.
This next one is the same one. This one right here, this next story that we have, I honestly believe is the creme de la creme. I think this is the best story that could be told to prove more than one thing. That there is something weird going on in the Bermuda Triangle that I believe, and Jason believes in portals and all this stuff, interdimensional stuff, a lot. I believe it touches on that because there's no other real explanation for it. And it also leads us at the end of our show, because we've got 30 minutes left. It leads us at the end of our show to talk a little bit about the book that we are starting to write, about the present. And the present is, I'm going to say, since our Industrial Revolution, we'll call that the present, seeding the past, meaning hundreds, if not thousands of years ago. And I say thousands of years, probably. Right, Jason?
Yeah.
That's the working title of the book, The Present Seeding the Past.
You had one more, though, didn't you? Of,
The Mayan influence?
no, the Flight 19.
That's this one that we're going to talk about, yes. I was going to talk about it first.
This one's totally different.
Oh, well, then go ahead.
Well, dude, I just want to bring this up.
Do it. You bring yours up, and then we'll do Flight 19, or we could do Flight 19, and then we could talk about that one.
Well, this is Pan Am Flight 914.
Okay. So this is a DC-4. So our last one we was talking about was a DC-3. This is a newer aircraft.
I don't know if this plane went through the Bermuda Triangle on its way to South America or not, or Miami, wherever it was going. It got sidetracked somewhere. But it had 57 passengers, and it took off from New York. 57 passengers and 6 crew members from Miami to New York, or from New York to Miami. The date was July the 2nd, 1955. The flight was scheduled to last only a couple of hours, but it never arrived in Miami. Instead, it showed up unannounced and invisible to radar on March 9th, 1985 in
So
Caracas.
just think, everybody, that's 30 years.
37 years. It's crazy. And the pilot was voicing his concerns to the tower. The pilot, after a textbook landing, taxied down toward the gate and ground handlers could see the faces of the screaming passengers pressed up against their windows, looking at a fantastic new world. The pilot, for his part, dropped a small calendar out the window before he made a hasty turn back to the runway, where he took off and disappeared as suddenly as he had arrived. And the calendar... did he drop it accidentally, or does it hold the secret to what happened? You know, we will never know. It landed in Venezuela 37 years later. And this is all on record.
Yeah, and what's funny about this is that this story has been told, and it's a really fascinating story because that goes with the book we're wanting to write. But I do believe that there is portals that do open up from time to time and transports people in time.
Well, they can open up on their own.
Yes. Well, you know, and that's the thing, is that science actually says anything we can mathematically think up in our heads as humans and contemplate on how to do ourselves, any of these things are possible to be done by nature without our help. Nature doesn't need our help to do these things, and that includes open up wormholes and all these other things. If we can mathematically say they exist, even though we cannot do them at this point, nature can do it on its own.
Yep.
And so then I say, you know, why?
Why?
Why? That's what I say. Why?
Why? How? Why?
How?
When? Where?
That's right. Why are we not talking about this more? Because you know that our government knows about it. Because especially this incident here and what I'm about to talk about, Flight 19, is right on the military's radar. 100%. And those are just the ones we know about. What do you think may be classified that we don't know about? A lot?
Oh, yeah.
Very possibly. I mean,
we just get told what they feel like we need to know.
right. And how many people have, you know, tried to get this information out of the government? Probably not very many, because they're too worried about trying to get the information for UFOs and other things like that. I bet you they're not looking into this kind of secret information to see if they could release any of it. Huh. Huh.
Huh. Anything? That's crazy.
You know, I think Flight 19 for me is definitely going to be in this book. You know, I think, and I didn't even think about it, but the one you just talked about should be in the book. Because it shows traveling through time and space. I think it should be there. What did it say? UFOs. Yeah. Thank you for liking the show. But yeah, I think it's very possible. I mean, so Flight 19, if not a lot of people have heard about Flight 19, it's pretty famous too. Now this is a shorter story of the Flight 19, but it gets to the heart of what all this is about. So, on the afternoon of December 5th, 1945, 5 Avenger torpedo bombers left the Naval Air Station at Fort Lauderdale, Florida, with Lieutenant Charles Taylor in command of a crew of 13 student pilots. So about an hour and a half into the flight, Taylor radioed to the base to say that his compasses were not working, but he estimated he was somewhere over the Florida Keys. The lieutenant who received the signal told Taylor to fly north toward Miami as long as he was sure he was actually over the Keys. Now, he was a very experienced pilot, and Taylor may have got turned around, and the more he tried to get out of the Keys, the further out to sea he and his crew traveled. But now, this was a bombing run trials that they had done multiple times, right? This was not their first time or his first time ever doing this. So I think he could have flown this probably with his eyes closed and half asleep because he had done it so many times. So as night fell, the reception of radio signals worsened until finally there was nothing from Flight 19. So at this point, they actually sent up a spotter plane to go find them. Now, the spotter plane started radioing back and saying that their compasses stopped working. And then they weren't heard of anymore. They went, disappeared. After all that, they sent out practically most of the Navy at that time to go search for not only these missing Avenger torpedo bombers, but also the spotter plane that went after them. And they found nothing. Not the people, not their planes, no wreckage whatsoever was ever found of not only the planes, but also the spotter plane. Nothing. They all disappeared, vanished without a trace. To this day, they still have not found a plane.
It's crazy.
I find it pretty fascinating. There's that word, Jason. Fascinating. It's fascinating. It's fascinating in a way that's why we want to write a book about it. I believe that if you take, if anyone, I'm sure if you've listened to this program, you've listened to Ancient Aliens and a lot of other programs, and Coast to Coast with George Norrie now, used to be Art Bell. But you know, over all these years, one thing that I honestly believe is that maybe everything we hear of isn't always aliens. You know that they found the Saqqara bird in Egypt, which is not really a bird. It's a fixed wing design aircraft. It's being tested, right? In an air chamber to have lift, the whole 9 yards. It has upright wing, tail feather in the back, which birds do not have. So they're more than sure that it is just a replica of some plane that has been seen. Anyone that has ever seen Ancient Aliens also has heard about the gold flyers. Giorgio Tsoukalos wears one on his as a pendant on his clothes all the time. And these were found in South America, and they're a swept wing design aircraft. And these are hundreds, if not thousands of years old. And the only way that you've ever seen one or would be able to really create that would be to have seen one. And I think that, again, going back to have listened to Ancient Aliens or any of these other shows, you've heard about during World War II, where we were out in the, on these islands out in the Pacific, and these people who had never seen aircraft and all these other things before started worshiping the planes because they was dropping food and all kinds of other stuff down. And they started making effigies of planes and praying to them to continue to drop these goods to them. Right? And they call them cargo cults. And we surmise that these effigies of these planes that we're seeing, from Saqqara bird in Egypt to these gold flyers in, South America, to Mesopotamia, where they talk about these gods coming out of the sky, flying and all these other things. What if they weren't? What if, right? So this is the same thing that you hear from Ancient Aliens. What if, right? What if they weren't ancient aliens? What if they were from the future getting sucked into the past through one of these wormholes? I think it's just as feasible as any other argument for the history, because we know that these planes come missing, these people come missing, all these people come missing with knowledge from today. And that would even maybe show why all these people from North America to South America to Mesopotamia all had all these knowledge of the solar system, had the knowledge of all the planets, had knowledge of all of these things, because, hey, if we went back in time now, we would have all that knowledge with us, right? So why would we not have all that knowledge when we went back? And one thing that you may find fascinating too is that most pilots, captains of ships, are trained that if they lose their instruments, how to navigate by the stars. And what is one thing that all of these people have in common? The stars. They knew the star systems. They knew the constellations by name. The same names we use today were used back then for the same constellations. So that's the premise of the book. And I think it all steps in line with what we're talking about tonight. What do you think, Jason?
Yep. I think a lot of things. Here's what I think. Here's what I think.
All righty.
You want to know what I think?
I want to know what you think, Jason.
Blah, 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 blah.
Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah.
No, seriously, I believe maybe some of the unidentified flying objects, the UAPs, I think they could be human.
From the future?
From the future. Either they're checking on us, bringing us stuff, maybe to further our technologies.
We have a
Just
theory
like
on that.
how we got the night vision from the Greys.
Yep.
Maybe we evolved into a Grey. You never know.
We definitely have theories on that too, that I think are very feasible. And with that same logic, what happened in the 50s and stuff with these UFOs, UAPs, whatever you want to call them, aliens, going over our Minuteman missile sites.
Oh, yeah.
And shutting them down. Well, if it's us from the future, we may know those codes to shut those things down. And we couldn't figure out how they shut them down at that time. But we would have our own knowledge to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So it really does make sense.
And the guy in Podbean chat room was talking about Skinwalker Ranch. I really do think there's a portal, or maybe many portals there that are opening up. I mean, they was even... It seemed like they were spying, whatever it is spying on these people.
Yep.
They could hear everything they was doing, and every time they wanted to do something, they shut them down.
Well, you know, the book, what's his name? George Knapp co-wrote or co-authored on the Skinwalker Ranch. Really good read. If no one has read it, I would definitely suggest to read it, because it is a really good book. I've read it, and I will say that when NIDS was there, and it was under its previous ownership, there was a lot of things that are still classified to this day. But one thing that they do talk about, and George Knapp talks about in the book, is just what you was talking about. They would hear beings or something talking above them, like they were talking to each other about what they were seeing them doing. And when they realized that, they would stop, right, to where people couldn't hear them. So it does suggest that there was they had the ability to listen in on conversations.
Yeah.
What did our people in the chat room there?
Chris Wilson wants to know our name, our subject matter, and our area of expertise.
Wow.
So I'm Jason Scott.
David
Reagan, and we just two guys that love to talk about everything paranormal.
That's right. There is no expertise here. Now, we do have people that are experts in these fields.
Well, this guy's
that come on our show quite a bit.
He's expert level alternative historian.
Well,
and sure, we'd love to have us do an interview with you. Or, I mean, it's not like an interview; it's just talking.
We don't interview. Yeah, if you listen to any of our shows, where we have special guests on, and we've had plenty, that's for sure. We don't do an interview style show. Our shows are not question and answers, because I just feel that it's not personable. Jason feels that way. I can't say I feel that way. We feel that way. When we have an interview, that's even the wrong word to use. I feel dirty using that word interview. We have a conversation, and that conversation goes wherever the conversation goes. There's no set questions, no set anything. We may have a set topic that we try to go with, but it goes where it goes. Right, Jason? We can't promise that we will always stay on topic, because the cool thing about talking to somebody that is a specialist in any field is that through talking, a question or something may come up and you go off on a tangent. And it happens sometimes. Right?
Oh, yeah.
And it's just cool. We that's just the way we do things. But yeah, I mean, if you are interested in doing the show, definitely info at Paranormal 411, and we'll get with you and let you pick out a date and do a show, because that's what we do.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, if I think Jason even put our website on there, but all you have to do is go out and listen to any of the shows that we've done, all the interviews we've done with all the awesome guests that we've had. You'll see that we aren't like your typical radio show for sure.
Nope.
I do want to say thanks for everybody that's in our chat room, all of our chat rooms, even on our website. And Thanks, everybody, for listening to us. We are coming close to the end of the show. Remember, we do have a book out, right? East Tennessee Hauntings and Folklore. Definitely check it out. It is on Amazon. And if you do buy it or purchase the book or the ebook, write a review for us. We would greatly appreciate it. It helps us out a lot. Jason, you have anything? And remember, we are in the process of writing a book kind of about this subject we're talking about tonight.
Yeah, no, I don't have anything else to add. Just don't go in the marsh.
Beware. Beware. Remember, you are listening to Paranormal 411. You can find us at paranormal411.org. Sign up, become a member. It's free. It doesn't cost nothing. You can also find us at Paranormal 411 on Facebook, YouTube, and also on Twitter. So we are Paranormal 411 on all of those platforms. And we want to thank everybody that listens to not only the live show, but our podcast. And that's all I've got, Jason.
All right.
All right.
So we see you next time.
Next week, next Bat Channel. Same bat time, same bat channel. Everybody have a good night, good weekend. And don't do anything I wouldn't do. But remember one thing. Join us.
Join us. Come to the dark side.
Thanks for listening to the show. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter at Paranormal 411. Join us on the website at paranormal411.org. It's free to sign up and become a member. All of our upcoming shows are on the guest and events page. You can also listen to past shows on the website as well. And if you like the show and want to support us, you can do that by becoming a premium member for only $2 a month. Thanks for listening to Paranormal 411. Join us.